Two short stories having to do with sewage. I think that they're beautiful and they're neat. So the first one, Motzi Shabbos, my wife calls me upstairs. Oh no, the toilet is overflowing and it's actually dripping down onto the next floor and all the way down to the basement. I don't know what to do. I'm really the opposite of a handyman. But I do understand that what I got to do is I got to shut the water off. So I shut the water off quickly and we start to mop up the place. It's nasty. At least get the water to stop flowing downstairs. It's a disaster. We're running around the house. We're all worked up over the whole thing. And I'm wondering to myself, Hashem, what do you want from me? I don't know what to do here. I do know how to, plumb it. I know how to use a plunger and I know how to use a snake. So I come to the toilet and I start to try to plunge it. Nothing's happening. It's not going down. I grab the snake. I try. Nothing's happening. So I try numerous times and I'm getting absolutely exhausted and I'm about to give up. And, in a bathroom, you're not allowed to say Hashem's name. You're not supposed to think ideas of Torah inside of a bathroom. But all of a sudden, I started to think about the source of the clog in the toilet. Which the source of the clog in the toilet has to be some sort of spiritual source that leads to the physical manifestation of this toilet being clogged. And so I imagine to myself that I'm unclogging something which is beyond the physical world, which is beyond just this physical clog. And the moment that I have that thought, I say, okay, I'm going to try it one more time. And if I can't get it one more time, then we'll have to pay for a plumber to come tomorrow or shut the toilet down till Monday or whatever it is. And so now I'm imagining as I'm doing this, so to speak, a spiritual pipeline, and I'm recognizing, I'm being cognizant in my head that where this clog is coming from, which is from Hashem, and I give it one last try, and on that last try, whatever those sounds are, the toilet declogs, and I walk out of the room, and I'm like to my wife, I can't believe what just happened. Every other time, I didn't think about the root and the source of this clog. And the one time I had just about given up, and the one time that my mindset changed to the right mindset, it unclogged. That's one story. Another story was Pesach had just finished. And my wife had went to bed. Maybe she put the kids to sleep. I'm not exactly sure. But I was starting to put things away for Pesach, and most of the time I wait till the next day or the day after. But on this specific Motzi Pesach, I decided that I really wanted to take care of the vast majority of everything so that my wife didn't have to, and it would be ready and the house would look good the next day. So I was working and packing boxes and taping boxes and trying to make things really neat and make sure that nothing got chametz on it, like the way that we all do after Pesach. Sometimes we do it that night, sometimes we do it the next night. So I'm working, and I'm starting to get very tired, and I got pretty much everything done. And so I had a whole bunch of boxes, and I thought to myself, I could leave the boxes upstairs or I could bring them downstairs right now. And I was like, you know what? For my wife, even though I'm tired, I want her to wake up. I want her to see the kitchen cleaned and emptied. I'm going to put in a little bit of extra effort in order to do a kindness for my wife. So I take my first box downstairs. I'm getting ready, here we go, finish it up. I'm going to go to sleep. And when I go downstairs, what do I see? Wonder of all wonders. I see that the sewage backed up. The truth is, I don't even know that. I don't even know what's going on, but I notice a big puddle of water downstairs. I'm wondering, what is this puddle of water? And I'm like, man, it stinks down here. So I've got this Pesach box with me. It's so stinky. So I kind of, tiptoe around the water. What is this stuff? I'm such an ignoramus when it comes to this. And I tiptoe around the water, and I smell, doesn't smell right. I step a foot in it. Oh no. Oh no. No, don't let it be what I think it is. Oh, it is. It was backed up sewage from bathrooms and outside. And it was bad. And I was like, where's this coming from? And I found out where it was coming from. I didn't even know what it was called, the main sewage line. I called up my brother-in-law, who is a handyman, and I say, I don't know what to do. What is this? Really, I called my sister. And it's late, it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. Oh, it's still gross. Almost ready to throw up. And I start mopping it, and I start trying to get rid of all the water, and I notice where it's coming from, and I'm wondering, how in the world, what am I supposed to do here? What do I do? What do I use? How do I do this? I have no clue. Oh, jeez. And then I realize what happened. I realized that, whoa, I have a huge sewage backup. I don't know how to unclog it, but I'm going to have to get dirty. If I wouldn't have brought these boxes down, who knows how many more times we would have used water, how many times we would have used toilets before I went downstairs. It was a kindness from Hashem on 2 accounts. One, it didn't happen on Pesach itself. It just started that night. It was only a puddle that hadn't reached any of the actual objects that we had in the basement. It was just on the hard floor. So Hashem saved it from me till after Pesach. He didn't want to burden me with such a trouble on Pesach, which ultimately came from tree roots that enter into the pipelines. So that was one. And number two, that because I wanted to do a chesed for my wife, I wanted to finish up. That's the way that I caught it before it created any damage. So beautiful chesed from Hashem. And when I realized that, I said, all right, you know what? I'm getting dirty. And we're going to take care of this until we can get someone professional to take care of it properly. So I got on my hands and my knees, and I had to grab into that main sewage line and get everything out, which didn't solve the problem, but it solved it enough that we could use a little bit of water until a plumber came. In both of these circumstances, I believe, I could have just shut down, gotten upset, and not recognized that there was actually within them opportunities to connect to Hashem and to even see the chesed of Hashem, the lessons from Hashem, the knowledge of Hashem, of how He creates the world and how He's interacting with you in every circumstance. But when we focus our mind properly, we can learn a lot from even things that are seemingly gross, disgusting, no light, so to speak, no revelation of godliness. Because with our mindset, we can change our experience of things to a godly experience. Like the Baal Shem Tov says, that when the Yidden came to a war upon their enemies, they were told to take the trumpets. With trumpets you should make blasts, which the trumpets represent simcha, happiness. That through a dedicated effort to bring happiness into a situation of tzara, of difficulty, of pain, you can take those letters of tzara that Hashem is creating within the world, that pain, you can sweeten it at its source, and the tzara, by blasting those trumpets with happiness, you can turn around those letters into the word ratza, which means wanted, desirable. As we go into Pesach, we're all going to be hit with a lot of things that seem like, whoa, hard work, difficulties, so much work. selling our chametz, making sure all of our chametz is gone, cleaning the house, this and that. Bring the trumpets into your avoda. Bring the happiness into the avoda, and then the whole thing will be desirable. We should all be blessed with great preparations for Pesach.